Insider trading is the illegal practice of using special knowledge about a firm for profit or gain.
Hey, something new about us. It's gonna jump.
Already talking about us.
Now to pro golfer Phil Mickelson, forced to repay more than $1 million. Federal investigators say he earned from a stock tip, a tip that at the time he says he didn't know was the result of insider information. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis is here with the latest. Good morning, Rebecca.
Hi, Lara. That's right. Good morning. Investigators say Phil Mickelson made $1 million that wasn't his to make and used that money to pay off his gambling debts. Now the five-time major champion's been named a relief defendant after profiting from the crimes of others.
So this might be the tournament. And an unbelievable shot by Mickelson.
He's the golf superstar with 42 PGA titles.
Incredible.
Known for his uncanny ability to get out of any difficult situation on the course.
Oh my goodness. Incredible. Can you believe this?
But off the course, Phil Mickelson finds himself in uncharted territory this morning.
I'm Phil Mickelson, pro golfer.
The SEC looking into how the successful pitchman made an almost $1 million profit off a stock in just one day.
Simply put, Mickelson made money that wasn't his to make. When you make money that you're not entitled to, you shouldn't get to keep it. We have not charged him with insider trading.
The SEC says it all stems from a stock tip the 3-time Masters winner received in 2012 from friend and noted gambler Billy Walters. Walters allegedly telling Mickelson to invest in a company called Dean Foods. The problem, Walters' tip was allegedly the result of inside information he received from Thomas Davis, the now former chairman of Dean Foods. Mickelson has agreed to pay back the full amount with interest. Mickelson reps telling ABC News overnight he feels vindicated but takes full responsibility for the decisions and associations that led him to becoming part of this investigation.
Phil Mickelson has not been accused of any criminal wrongdoing, and he was not charged with insider trading. His spokesperson telling ABC News, Phil feels vindicated, guys.
All right, Rebecca, thank you very much.
Outspoken billionaire and NBA team owner Mark Cuban will be back in a Texas courtroom today as he fights insider trading charges. Willie's here with details on that. Willie, good morning.
Matt, good to see you. Good to see you guys. Opening statements scheduled for later today in the civil case that's turned into a knockdown, drag-out fight between federal regulators and the billionaire turned reality TV star.
Worst presentation ever. I'm out.
Often larger than life, billionaire Mark Cuban has crushed contestants on Shark Tank. Busted moves on Dancing with the Stars. But now, Cuban is walking into a different court in Texas as he faces federal insider trading charges.
I'm excited about this, finally, to come to court. I won't be bullied.
The Securities and Exchange Commission says Cuban committed fraud in 2004 after investing in a small internet search company called Mama.com. The SEC says Cuban sold his entire stake in the company, 600,000 shares, after learning the company's CEO was planning an offering of new stock. By selling when he did, the SEC says Cuban avoided losses in excess of $750,000. Cuban says he did nothing wrong, and any information he had was not confidential. The SEC's lead counsel says, "We look forward to the start of the trial." And Cuban says he is not backing down.
The thing I'm really looking forward to is shedding some sunlight on how the SEC works.
Cuban could face a penalty of about $2 million, a tiny fraction of his estimated net worth of $2.5 billion.
He has to be spending millions of dollars on a very high-powered legal team. He could have settled, but he clearly believes that there's more at stake here. He is out to prove a point.
7 women, 3 men were chosen as jurors. The trial is likely to last about 3 weeks, and Cuban is expected to testify, something he says he's excited to do. That $2 million fine, he's paid $1.5 million to the NBA in fines for criticizing and berating officials. Right. So it's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah,
wow.
exactly.
It's going to be interesting to follow that, though. No question about it. Willie,
That's
thank
reality.
you.
So here it is. All right.
Collision is a a legal agreement between 2 or more companies to give it a wrongful. So the revenue up to over $10 billion for Barry Bonds to be playing in the league. We shouldn't pay him that much. Just cut it short.
No one really has to know.
Hey, MLB, this is wrong. You should be paying them more.
The MLB basically ripped me off. I should be getting paid more, but thanks to my agent Jeff Boris here, he helped me out a lot.
ProFootballTalk.com. Mike, we knew when there was going to be a big injury to a quarterback, Colin Kaepernick's name was going to be in the news that very same day. But Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, and Kaepernick's name is in the headlines for a different reason. Explain why.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. Colin Kaepernick has filed a grievance alleging collusion on the part of the NFL in connection with the fact that he is not employed, all dating back to his decision to kneel during the national anthem in 2016. The last straw, I'm told, was the failure of the Tennessee Titans to show any interest whatsoever in Kaepernick. When Marcus Mariota, their starting quarterback, got injured 2 weeks ago, they brought in various guys for workouts. They rebuffed Kaepernick's interest. And I'm also told that what Kaepernick is looking for isn't just relief for himself. There's an obscure provision in the collective bargaining agreement that, in the event of sufficient proof of collusion, can cause the entire CBA to be terminated prematurely.
Lobbying is when groups seek to influence a political person or party on an issue.
Imagine a world where the middle class would have no chance to achieve home ownership, where the American dream wouldn't be possible, a place where the mortgage interest deduction wouldn't exist. Imagine a world where there would be no rewards for those who take the risk of capital investments, where there would be no diversity of housing and mixed-use communities. The Realtors Political Action Committee, RPAC, is ready to fight for those rights. Our mission is to protect and promote America's oldest core value, home ownership. We support elected officials and candidates who understand the importance of protecting the American dream and being the voice for all those who have a stake in it. We stand for your property rights, making sure our leaders vote against overburdensome landmark designation requirements initiated by non-property owners. Landmark designation should be a property owner's choice, not anyone else's. We believe in favorable capital gains tax rates. These provide a stimulus for owners who wish to sell appreciated property. Over the past 30 years, the capital gains tax rate has been as high as 49%. Without RPAC, the capital gains tax rate would not be the lowest it's ever been. For these reasons and much more, RPAC is your best investment in real estate. Let us lead the way.
Lobbying, the use of persons or groups to formally represent an organization or group of organizations in political bodies.
We need sleep. We need sleep. We need
Learn
start school
later.
late. Start school later. School sucks. Time. We need sleep. Hey, are you awake? Are you awake in school? Probably not. You sleep all day. We know it. We need sleep. Everyone, sleep more. School less. Sleep, sleep, sleep.
Hi, would you like to sign for school later or sleep more?
Yes.
Perfect. I need 10,000 signatures. So far I have 5.
Philanthropic giving, the awarding of funds or gifts to charities or other worthy causes.
How much for these? $1.
Thank you.
Can you tell me why you're selling food from the garbage?
Oh, I'm not.
We have camera evidence. I'm from the FDA and we're gonna have to shut you.
Sometimes the government oversteps the boundaries of what most people would consider to be reasonable, usually when a small but vocal minority gets upset about a specific issue. While many of these regulations are laughable, they have often had real impact on real individuals and families. I'm Mike with List 25, and from fines to tax dollars, here are 25 stupid government regulations that'll make you shake your head. #25. Rain falls from the sky, freely. Some local or state governments have a problem with that. In 2012, a man in Oregon was sentenced to 30 days in jail for collecting rainwater on his property in a pond. In the state of Oregon, the government owns the rain, and you have to have a special permit to collect and hold it. Other states have laws against rain barrels, which is a huge plastic barrel, usually with an attached filter that's used to collect rainwater and then water gardens. The important thing to note is that the government can't charge for rainwater freely collected. 24. Even front yard lemonade stands aren't immune to overregulation. Sorry kids, they count as a business, and you need a permit for that, and professional equipment, and a stand that's up to local building code to sell lemonade. There are numerous stories of this happening all over the country, but one with a sweet ending is Annabelle Lockwood of California, who was told she needed $3,500 of professional restaurant equipment and a permit. A GoFundMe was set up, and the internet paid for the permit. But think of all the better things $3,500 could have been spent on.
Political action committees, special organizations created to split money and distribute it to political candidates.
Founder and CEO of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, announced that he would be donating 99% of his family's Facebook shares to charity. This ballooned his total contributions to an estimated $45 billion over the course of his life. It could end up being the largest financial donation in history. But in fact, this form of charity has become increasingly popular in recent years as the number of ultra-rich multi-billionaires continue to rise. So we wanted to know, who has donated the most money to charity ever? Well, one of the most known philanthropists is also the richest person on earth, Bill Gates. In 2008, the founder of Microsoft left his company to focus on philanthropy and pledged to donate 95% of his fortune to charity. Since then, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has established an endowment of more than $41 billion, making it the wealthiest charitable foundation in the world. Their primary focus is on improving healthcare and education, while reducing extreme poverty through grants to smaller localized charities. They also fund research and development of new technologies to help get clean water and sanitation services to regions in need. But while Bill Gates is perhaps the best-known philanthropist, he is not the most generous. It is in fact business magnate Warren Buffett. He began the recent trend of donating the bulk of one's entire fortunes to charity. In 2006, Buffett pledged nearly all of his then $44 billion estate to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. This pledge, like Zuckerberg's, was reportedly made in shares of his company Berkshire Hathaway. However, Zuckerberg's $45 billion pledge may just end up surpassing both Gates and Buffett's contribution.
Mr. Trump.